Another week has passed since my last video, and again we have more news on the Apple iPhone 12. We've had more beautiful concept videos from Concept's iPhone, along with some news of some very useful and highly anticipated features coming to the Apple iPhone 12. A Japanese blog has reported that the iPhone 12 is going to be supporting a new Wi-Fi standard known as 802.11ay. It's a new Wi-Fi spec on the 60 GHz spectrum, and it's going to provide faster speeds at the cost of a shorter range. One of the main uses of this ultra short range Wi-Fi will no doubt be for use of Apple's AirDrop, and of course to connect with other Apple devices in close proximity. But many are speculating that the reason for an ultra short range Wi-Fi will be to support Apple's new AR glasses that many have been waiting for years. We've had patents from Apple dating back to 2015 detailing AR related software and hardware, but still nothing has ever been seen. Back in November 2019, Ming-Chi Kuo said the manufacturing of the AR glasses was finally going to begin at the end of 2019 or the start of 2020, and he said it would be reliant on a connected iPhone for processing and connectivity. This new ultra-fast, short-range Wi-Fi would of course be a great way to transfer data quickly from the iPhone to the AR glasses, so it could be the reason that Apple have waited so long. The new 802.11ay Wi-Fi unfortunately lacks the ability to penetrate walls, so this does make total sense. We also have news that the iPhone 12 may be the first Apple phone to work completely underwater. While their previous phones have been water resistant, anyone who's tried to use their phone underwater will know that it just doesn't work. The screen is completely unresponsive when submerged underwater thanks to the additional pressure applied to the display. And this news comes from another patent that was filed by Apple for an in-display pressure sensor that they're calling Force Touch. There's also news that the iPhone 12 is going to be coming with a smaller and faster charger thanks to new technology. They'll be achieving this by using a new gallium nitride technology that other manufacturers have already started using. It allows for the power adapters to be smaller in size while keeping the same wattage, and it's expected that the iPhone 12 may deliver up to 65-watt fast charging. This is great news if true, as when it comes to fast charging, Apple have always been a little bit behind the smartphone competition. Finally, we've got news that the iPhone 12 launch is not going to be delayed. While many worry that we may see delays thanks to the recent outbreak, Apple will be starting production earlier this time, as well as moving production to Vietnam where possible. Apple did previously issue an update for its investors to say there's going to be less Q2 profit than expected, but it seems that they're doing everything possible to keep the iPhone 12 launch on time. When it comes to the iPhone 12 though, one thing we haven't had leaked yet is the name. Although we're unlikely to see any radical changes, so we're going to assume for this video that it's called the Apple iPhone 12. We're expecting to get 4 new iPhone 12s in the range, which is going to be 2 different iPhone 12s, the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. We're expecting Apple to increase the display sizes on the most premium models, although those who want a smaller display are still going to have an option. Reliable analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has advised that there's going to be 2 iPhone 12 versions. The smaller iPhone 12 is going to have a 5.4-inch display, and the larger one will have a 6.1-inch. We then get a 6.1-inch display, which is the iPhone 12 Pro, and a 6.7-inch display, which is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Unlike last year, however, all models are reportedly going to be using an OLED display, and the resolution will differ across the range. The 6.1-inch iPhone 12 will likely have a lower resolution than the 6.1-inch iPhone 12 Pro. And while there are rumours of Apple removing the notch, I really can't see this happening. In typical Apple fashion, we're still expecting a full-screen display with a notch top centre. It's too early for in-display camera sensors, and I can't see Apple going for a punch hole. They also need a time-of-flight sensor on the front for their 3D face unlock. And while Apple did ditch the fingerprint scanner on the iPhone X, there are reports that it's going to be coming back in the form of an in-display fingerprint scanner. There are reports suggesting that Apple are also going to be increasing their refresh rates on the latest displays. While most phones have stuck to 60Hz displays, it's been changing recently, and Apple are also going to be joining this trend. At this stage, we don't know if they're going to be using 90Hz, 120Hz, or even a mixture of the two across the range. When it comes to the rear of the device, we're expecting a similar camera setup to last year, but the more premium model will have more cameras. Ming Chi Kuo has again advised that both the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max are going to be adding time-of-flight cameras to the rear. For those unaware, time-of-flight cameras are 3D depth cameras and they're what Apple uses on the front for the 3D face unlock. The time-of-flight sensors on the rear, however, use slightly different technology that allow it to map 3D objects from further away. This significantly improves augmented reality applications and allows for more improved portrait-style photo and video effects. We're likely going to see slight upgrades on the other cameras of the iPhone 12s, but given the great performance in its predecessor, they won't be changing things too much. Reports are suggesting that the two more budget models are going to have a dual camera setup, while the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max are going to have a quad camera setup with the inclusion of the 3D depth camera. The iPhone 12 is of course going to be powered by the new A14 Bionic processor. This is actually manufactured using 5nm lithography, which will bring significant improvements, and there's a good chance that it will be the first 5nm chipset to hit the market. When it comes to RAM, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is expected to come with 6GB of RAM, while the standard iPhone 12 will only have 4. This is something that I think Apple actually do well compared to Android manufacturers, where they throw in unnecessarily large amount of memories, causing the consumer to pay for memory that they don't even need. When it comes to storage, you're expecting a choice of 64, 256 or 512GB of internal storage.